The trading activity today in AMC, Rocket, not so much GameStop today. Several other kind of meme stocks is off the charts. Here you can see AMC's up another 20% again today after starting the week around 12 bucks a share. We're now at 27. So just an unbelievable move. If we look at Rocket, it's had a great move today too. You can see it traded from 1760 up to 1950. So not quite a AMC level move, but still a major swing. So what's happening with these things? Well, it all boils down to one thing, and that is call volume. If we look at Interactive Brokers here, this is AMC we're looking at. So there's a bunch of fairly complicated charts here, but what we want to show you really is the volume for today. So these bar charts here are telling us what the call volume is on the top and the put volume is on the bottom. So you can see that the volume trading today at the 25 strike call is over 150,000. And that is only the 25. You have another 100K, 125K trading at the 20 strike and another 185K trading at the 30 strike. So these volumes are massive. Now we think that these strikes here, the 39 and 40, are probably call sellers trying to monetize some of this crazy high volatility, these very high call prices. They may be trying to sell these calls. But the thing about this volume is that because it is all for tomorrow's expiration, it has a very high gamma. And so that can really be juicing the stock up. Now, if you look at the implied volatility that I just mentioned, that is what this chart over here is showing you. And the fact that these lines are all spiking up are telling us that the cost of options has gone through the roof. So if you think about implied volatility as a options price, this is the historical price for options for AMC, right? And as we approached kind of the mid-May period, that vol spiked, implied vol spiked, so the cost of options spiked. You can see again in the last few days that the price of options has gone through the roof. We've coined a new term today, which we think is kind of funny, called escape velocity. It's just gone crazy. And so you've gotten these now 20% daily moves that are occurring. If you look at Rocket, it's a very similar setup, right? You can see that it's not going to be quite the same magnitude as AMC, but you can see here, AMC vols at something like 300, 350. So Rocket vol is only 130, which is still just a crazy number. But you can see that there's massive trading in Rocket at 50K. These are big numbers, right? Small compared to AMC, but still very large in the scheme of things. Now, why isn't GME squeezing the same way? Well, that's because I think the relative cost of playing in GameStop is so much more expensive. I mean, AMC is a $20-something stock. Even expensive options are, $3, $4 a contract. Whereas in GameStop, you're talking a $200, $300 stock, and the options are $15, $20 a contract. So the cost is just much higher. And I think as a result, what you can see here is that the volume in GameStop is much lower. So there is some activity at the 250 and 300 strike level, but you just can't get the same roll going, right? You can't get the same. When you have more calls trading, it gets dealers having to buy more and more stock, and we just can't get that momentum going because it's just too expensive to play for most of the retail public. So what's going to happen next? So to get a better idea of what's going to happen over the next day or two, we're going to use our EquityHub tool, and we just come over and we pop in AMC. The big gamma area right now is still at the 20 strike. As we just showed you, there is a ton of volume trading for tomorrow's expiration. That is Friday the 28th. And so there's a center of gravity that is at 20. Now, because so much volume traded at 25 and 30, that center of gravity could shift higher. But right now, the stock is kind of outpacing where the big open interest is. And so this could really start to weigh on AMC into tomorrow's close because all of the calls that are in place right now, they hold a lot of hedges tied to them. And as those calls decay kind of rapidly into tomorrow's close, we could see some selling pressure start to pick up in AMC into the expiration at 4 p.m. tomorrow. And then next week, we think it could probably reload, right? You get the momentum back in the name. So for us to get more bullish, we would want to see this key gamma strike here at 20 roll up to, say, 25, 30. That's a bullish indication. As of right now, this is, again, this morning's data. The big strike is at 20. This expiration gamma for tomorrow is likely to go somewhere near 50. And so this could indicate that the stock will be pressured down to, say, 25 or 30. Now, the difference would be if call volume keeps pouring on here and it keeps the fire going into tomorrow's close. But this expiration should kind of weigh on it from a time perspective. Now, that doesn't mean that next week it can't keep the squeeze going. In fact, you may just kind of get a pause and then the second leg higher starts, next week. If you want to look at Rocket, it's a similar situation. We just type in Rocket here. You can see that the big open interest area is the 18 strike. And so you can see that even though the name hit 1950 area, it did pull back into this 18 sort of area at the moment. We expect that tomorrow's gamma number is likely going to be closer to 40% after we update our data tonight. But the big thing here is that, again, these names have a lot of call volume. Then those calls are likely to decay into tomorrow simply because of that expiration factor, that time decay factor. And then next week we could see another round of squeezing. So this is really unbelievable movement in some of these meme stock names. A little bit reminiscent of January 2021. I don't think we get a January 2021 redux because that was such an unbelievable event. But it's clear that there is attention and focus back on trying to squeeze some of these names higher. We hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment box below. You can reach us at info@spotgamma.com. And if you hit subscribe, you'll get an updated video from us each time we post one.